Welcome to Uncommon Sense. Uncommon Sense, where we take uncommon sense issues and have a common sense discussion that brings about real solutions right here on Uncommon Sense Podcast with yours truly, Jay Howard, along with Michael B. Wright Sr., Big Brother Mo Better. How you doing, brother?
Oh, I'm living large and black and proud. And my brother, what's going on there, Jay Howard?
You ought to be living large and black and proud, my brother.
I'm doing my best, bro. That's all I got.
That's all you got, brother. That's all you got. Well, Brother Wright, tonight we actually, our main topic for today is talking about the pharmaceutical industry.
Oh, yeah, buddy. You brought that up. Yeah.
And actually, we want to just break it down how pharma works, because it's a situation that's going on in this country right now that the pharmaceutical industry itself is getting totally complex, difficult. People trying to figure out, okay, if I got plan A of Medicare, what I need with plan B. Then if I got plan B, what C and D and F and E is all about.
Yeah, your card became an alphabet itself, right?
Exactly.
It is 6 letters, bro. 26 of them.
26
of them. Yeah. It's
so
real.
Here's the intro
It's real
to our subject tonight on Big Pharma.
You might think the process that determines how much you pay for something is pretty straightforward. And it often is. For example, here's the supply chain for a beverage you might buy at the drugstore, say a Pepsi. PepsiCo manufactures the soda and sends it to a retailer who sells it to a customer. The customer pays the retailer and the retailer pays PepsiCo. Simple, right? Well, that is not the case for the products behind the pharmacy counter, the drugs. Here's a typical supply chain for prescription drugs. It looks really different. That's because the way that drugs are priced is not at all a straightforward process. Experts and politicians argue that the very complexity of this chain is part of why drug prices have grown so high for customers.
Everyone involved in the broken system, the drug makers, insurance companies, distributors, pharmacy benefit managers, and many others contribute to the problem.
To understand this debate, first you should understand the flow of drugs and money within this chain. Let's start here, with the pharmaceutical companies. They're the ones who develop a drug and set a price, known as the list price. This isn't as straightforward as it might look, which we'll explain in a moment. Next, you have the wholesalers who transport the drugs and sell them to the pharmacies. The patient pays the copay, and the pharmacy sends out a bill that gets paid by the insurance company. That's simple enough, but we're missing a link. The link that manages this transaction and adds a lot of complexity to the chain. Meet the pharmacy benefit managers, or PBMs. They're who the drug companies and some politicians are talking about when they refer to middlemen. They work for insurance companies, big employers, and government agencies. And a big part of their job is to bring down the cost of drugs for their employers. They do this by negotiating with pharmaceutical companies for rebates. Yep, for many of the drugs a pharmaceutical company sells, it pays a rebate to the PBM. The PBM sometimes pockets a portion of the rebate and passes another portion on to the insurance company or employer. Why the pharmaceutical company pays these rebates is the source of a lot of controversy. What happens is the drug company gets moved up on something called a formulary. So, what's a formulary? It's the list of drugs that the insurance company covers, and it's grouped in tiers. Each tier represents what portion of the list price the patient pays and what portion of the list price the insurance company pays. The highest tier on the formulary is the lowest copay for the patient, and the lowest tier is the highest copay for the patient. When the pharmaceutical company pays a higher rebate, the PBM will move the drug up on the formulary. Pharmaceutical companies want high placement on the formulary. That's because patients are more likely to take the drug that's most affordable, and that usually means higher sales for the pharmaceutical company. If a patient wants to take a drug that's lower down on the formulary or not on it at all, they have to pay higher copays or even the full list price of the drug. If this seems confusing, that's because it is. Let's take another walk through that transaction, this time with an example. Say a hypothetical drug costs $100. A PBM negotiates a $50 rebate, $10 of which they pocket, and $40 of which they pass on to the insurance company or employer. In return for that rebate, the PBM moves the drug to a better spot on the formulary, making it cheaper for the patient to buy the drug. This transaction is important because the pharmaceutical companies say it's a big reason they keep raising the price of drugs. You've probably seen a chart like this before. It's the rise in the price of a drug in the US, in this case, Humalog, according to its maker, Eli Lilly. The pharmaceutical companies say they have to raise list prices to protect their sales and profits from the demands of these higher rebates. Here's the CEO of the pharmaceutical company Merck at a hearing on drug prices.
If you bring a product to the market with a low list price in this system, you get punished financially and you get no uptake because everyone in the supply chain makes money as a result of a higher list price.
And here's that Humalog chart again, this time with the net price, or the average revenue that Eli Lilly says they take in under this system. For their part, the PBMs say the drug companies don't have to raise prices to boost their bottom lines, and that rebates reduce the cost of drugs, not inflates them. They say rebates reduce the real cost of prescription drugs because they lower the price that insurance companies pay. That helps the insurers lower the premiums that the patients have to pay for their plans. Here's Derica Rice, an executive vice president at CVS Caremark, one of the pharmacy benefit managers.
Our job is to work with the employers, unions, and government programs we serve to ensure that when their members get to the pharmacy counter, they get the medicines that they need at the lowest possible cost.
So, what does all of this mean for the patient back at the pharmacy counter? At the heart of all this is that what the patient pays is often based on the list price, not the price the insurance company is responsible for after the rebates. And patients who don't have insurance or co-insurance, or who have really high deductibles, sometimes pay the entire list price. It's important to know that the details surrounding rebates are shrouded in mystery. Pharmaceutical companies and PBMs don't release their rebate data, saying it's proprietary. But it's clear that different people and different insurance companies pay different prices for the same drugs. As you can see, the way that prices work behind the counter is totally different from how they work in front.
Sound like a racket to me.
A racket to me, right? Right.
Man, that's sad, Jay.
That is sad, bro.
That is sad, bro.
That's sad.
That right there need to be shown everywhere.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get a low cost in medication because of that.
That system there, doc, is broke, man.
Yeah.
But you see who it benefits, right?
It benefits back to the
Big
insurance company, to the
big
government.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we just have it when we have these hearings. We got to put on the show.
Mm-hmm. You got to, because again, that system just didn't get set up overnight.
No,
it was some thought put into that, bro.
yes, some thought.
And if you ask me, it looks mighty suspect to the drug dealer chain. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
That's all the,
yeah, bro. Yeah.
It look like they took a pay from a drug dealer, man.
But they put a little ad, ad in though.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And that I'm telling you, bro. When you look at it, yeah, it's a playbook, bro. It's a playbook.
How you gonna say the bonus or the is
yeah,
high preparatory? How you gonna say that?
Because again, the system was set up by somebody who tried to protect their interests.
So we can hide that price,
That price, yeah,
but everything else we can show.
you can show.
Mm-hmm.
And then to say that the rebate that's proprietary, that the PBM can actually
Yeah,
now
the rebate.
can pocket some of that rebate. So the
Mm-hmm.
question is, how much of that percentage is being pocketed by the PBM?
Right.
See, it's crazy, man. Then that's why you can never get at the solution. Is because the system and the mechanism and is so shrouded in bureaucracy, and also you're protecting certain entities. And this is why there is no change. Because you're trying to protect certain dynamics. That's what it is.
Who is the broker?
Like I said, man, me and you are in the wrong profession.
I know, right?
Because I'm gonna tell you that this was not on the career path at Payne College.
No sir. No sir.
That's all I'm saying. This was
And it's
not.
still neither.
Yeah, this was not on the career path at
Right.
Payne College. So this was new to me. But especially when you start talking about it, I was like, dude, are you kidding me? And when I
Yes.
started doing some ticking around on my little computer, I
Mhm.
was like, dude, what? So yeah, but that's again, man. This system just didn't pop up.
No.
It was methodically thought out of. How do you manipulate this thing to get the best cash out of it and the best cash flow?
Right.
And bro, they perfected that system
Perfected to a T.
to a TJ.
Yeah.
And you will never get at it because it's too many layers.
Exactly.
Too many layers, man.
Exactly. Too many layers.
Too
And,
many
and there's one hidden layer that nobody would get.
The brokers.
Yes.
The brokers,
Yes.
man.
You don't even know who the broker is.
Who they are,
Yeah.
But CVS is in there. You saw CVS has a brokerage.
But you see,
Mhm.
every time they had a hearing,
Oh,
who did they show being as the representative in this hearing?
like I said, man, that was not on my career path sheet.
Mm.
I don't know how that brother got up there, but anywho, they did it. So it's a wild thing to see, man. If when people
Mhm.
start pulling back that onion peel, and
Mhm.
then these secretive
Mhm.
organizations or segments inside that sucker, you can't find out the root of it or where they are, or who they are. Yeah, that part right there, bro. That's the nasty part.
That's the nasty part.
That's
Right?
the nasty part, man. When you can't find something out like your electors, we don't even know who they are, where they came from,
No.
how you get there, how
Mm-mm.
long you stay, just all that stuff, man.
Then all of a sudden, at the end of the election, they list the electors like, here's the ones.
Yeah, like how and why.
How and why?
Tell us now, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's why, man. And see, this is why when someone is talking about certain dynamics, that's why I guess he had a concept of a plan. Uh, this is why when people say things in front of the camera,
Yeah.
it's a bunch of BS
A
because
bunch of.
when you start pulling back that bureaucracy, man, and you start looking at the layers that you got to touch and the stuff you got to change. Oh, come on.
Mhm.
Dude.
Come on
That's
now.
that's not an overnight question. I mean, you can pontificate all you want, but unless you're willing to manipulate that system and hit the moving targets, hit all the cogs in that sucker, you're not gonna do anything to the price, man.
You
So
mean to tell me somebody couldn't come up with the idea of putting the broker in check?
you tell me.
Come on, man.
They serve a
The
greater evil.
middleman.
The middleman. Same thing with the truckers do the same thing, Doc. You have a brokership inside and truck industry that broker those prices. That's why the truckers are not making any money as far as the
Right.
independent contractors, man. Because
Right.
again, you have a broker doing that stuff there. So the question is again, this brokerage system that's
Yeah.
inside all these industries, you got to ask yourself,
Mhm.
who set that sucker up and where they at, and who regulates that?
Right.
That dynamic, and
Right.
so this is where the meat of the matter comes in, Jay. And when folks again trying to pontificate on how they're going to solve a problem, and you look at the web that you're trying to manipulate, you're going to solve that overnight. Come on, dude. Let's be honest with folks and tell them this is not as easy as you think.
No.
And see, but that's when you just want to get a chair, then you can go through the rhetoric. But when you really want to solve a problem, you got to be honest with folks, man, to tell people
Right.
this is not what you think it is.
Right.
And some gonna listen, some not. But at the end of the day, you having some kind of sense of integrity and not letting folks believe a lie. This is snake oil that you're selling. That's why you can never repeal the Obamacare or the Affordable Act. You can never repeal it.
No, you can't.
You can't, because it's too far deep in.
Yeah.
And every Republican and everybody else that is talking about it, where you got to ask yourself, y'all control the House and the Senate when you pass the freaking bill.
Right.
But now all of a sudden it's an issue.
Come on, man.
Explain that to me. Make it make sense.
But then when you get one in office, in that seat, that could change it. You say, no, that's okay.
That's okay.
We're going to leave it alone. It's very complex.
Make it make sense. See, that's the part that's uncommonly crazy to me.
Right.
Is because when you look at just the surface of it, again, y'all control the House and the Senate when y'all pass that bill. Both of them. You could have shut it down at any time, but you did not. Democrats could have not passed that bill without Republicans backing it up.
Right.
They couldn't do it. So if it was an issue then, it should never got out of either the House or the Senate. Then, like you're saying, 45 got in there. He said he's going to repeal on the first day. Okay, y'all control both of them. So why didn't you?
Then he came out and said, "Oh, it's too difficult.
It's
so
too difficult.
We're gonna just keep what we got until we come up with a better plan."
Yeah, make it better. Yeah, really.
Yeah. Okay.
That's your answer, dude. Okay.
Yeah.
Make it make sense. Okay. But
now, right here's the greed part of.
We get into the greed part. Get into the greed.
Got to it yet. We just got to like the operations, how the operations go.
Yeah, that will.
And now here's the greed part of it.
That's what it is.
Daraprim is on the World Health Organization's model list of essential medicines, an invaluable weapon in the fight against malaria and a serious infection caused by HIV. A young U.S. financier, Martin Shkreli, manager of a hedge fund investing in health products, bought the rights to the drug in the United States. He then bumped up the price of Daraprim from $13.50 to $750, a 5,000% increase.
Farmer greed kills, evil, not profits. Farmer greed kills, evil, not profits. Farmer greed kills, evil, not profits.
Martin Shkreli refused to budge on the price of his medication.
Now please welcome to the stage Martin Shkreli, founder and...
Facing the financial press, he tried to defend the indefensible.
Well, thanks for coming. Thank you. Up here.
If you could rewind the clock a few months, I wonder if you would do anything differently.
I probably would have raised the price higher, is probably what I would have done.
Why?
I think healthcare prices are inelastic. I could have raised it higher and made more profits for our shareholders, which is my primary duty. And again, no one wants to say it. No one's proud of it. But, this is a capitalist society, capitalist system, and capitalist rules. And my investors expect me to maximize profits, not to minimize them or go half or go 70%, but to go to 100%.
An immoral increase, maybe, but perfectly legal. As part of an investigation into the scandal of unchecked drug prices, Martin Shkreli was summoned to appear before a U.S. congressional committee.
What do you say to that single pregnant woman who might have AIDS, no income? She needs Daraprim in order to survive. What do you say to her when she has to make that choice? What do you say to her?
On the advice of counsel, I invoke my Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination and respectfully decline to answer your question.
Somebody's paying. It's the taxpayers that end up paying for some of them. I know you're smiling, but I'm very serious, sir.
So I ask now that the committee excuse the witness from the table without objection, so ordered. We'll pause for a moment as Mr. Shkreli is escorted out.
Martin Shkreli was soon dubbed the most hated man in America. Sometime later, he was arrested by the FBI and convicted by a federal court on securities fraud. He was sentenced to 7 years in federal prison. Beyond his individual case, Shkreli became the embodiment of the excesses of the pharmaceutical industry and the embodiment of its cynicism. The price of Daraprim has never returned to its original level.
He had no kind of moral compass, nothing. It's like, bro, this is what I do. I get the fullest return in investments for my investors.
But again, Shkreli, man, represents exactly what this thing is and why it is the way it is.
Right.
And even after he was convicted of security fraud, man, again, Daraprim never came back down.
No.
Go figure that. So they could have adjusted it when they had the window to do it, but they could never bring it back down. Because at the end of the day, if they listen to the video, the man bought the rights.
The rights.
So whether you convict him or not, whether you say whatever, the man owns the right.
Still getting paid.
Still getting paid, player. that part right there.
He does 7 years and still gets paid during the 7 years.
Yeah, he owns the rights to the drug.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Yeah.
And see, that's the cynicism. That's why he can look the way he look and look at the congressman like, whatever, this is a fraud.
Whatever.
We know it is. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't do anything about it because I own the rights to the drugs.
Yeah.
Do what you ought to do. But it's still, it's still up there. It never came back down to 1350.
Did they ever teach you in Payne College how to buy the rights to a drug?
No, like I said, that was not on the career path.
Exactly.
It was not on the career path of Payne College. So, yeah, we need to have an HBCU adjustment video. I mean, we need to tell our HBCU, y'all, come on.
And
now.
he probably ain't no more than 24, 25 years old.
But them probably made more money than you and I would ever make in our lifetime.
Exactly.
So that's the sad. But again, it's the average individual that has no clue of these dynamics that's paying the penalty for that. And you have no recourse. There's no other recourse in this situation. That's what makes it so damnable, man. That you don't have any other way to go at this thing but the tunnel that they done put you in. Right. And you got to go through that and make it the best way you can. Come out on the other side. Hopefully, you still got some clothes on when you do.
Exactly.
But capitalism makes sure you might not have no skin when you come through there.
No, none at all.
They're gonna take everything they can by the time you come through that tunnel, bro. And God be with you when you come out. But the sad thing about it, man, is that the dynamic is that drug price is still up there. It never came back down to me.
Never came back down.
And again, because you have these individuals that own the rights to certain dynamics, who own the process of certain dynamics, and those shareholders, those individuals who are making buku's money in that circle are not going to adjust it. That's because there is no moral compass there.
And I guarantee you, some of them shareholders was at that hearing.
You know they were.
Come on, man.
you know they were, because again, he stated exactly what he was hired to do, which was to increase the profits of the shareholders.
Right.
That's your aim, and that's what we do. So when someone is enjoying again the profits from your misery, what's the motivation for me to solve it? I have none.
I have none.
I have none. So that's the issue, Doc. When you have people who profit from this stuff, you making your livelihood from this situation. What's the process and what's the motivation to solve the issue? You don't have one, because it doesn't affect me. That's why the opioid situation, when that thing was the way it was going down, like I said, going to the tunnel, man, nobody was saying nothing until it hit the right target, and then all of a sudden,
yeah, right. That's true. But there's also another culprit. This whole system.
Preacher.
Okay, so the next video we're gonna show.
Oh, we got time.
Is for the FDA.
Oh, I took it.
Now, this talks about the FDA's errors. Now, this is the one that's supposed to be regulating the drug.
Supposed to be.
Supposed to be.
Okay, then.
But we shall see.
Let the truth speak, brother.
In the early 1960s, the pharmaceutical company behind the drug thalidomide tried to convince Dr. Francis Kelsey, a scientist from the Food and Drugs Administration, to approve their drug.
A stubborn stickler of a medical officer in the Food and Drug Administration, Dr. Francis Kelsey. She refused to approve sale of the drug in the United States.
Thalidomide was eventually blamed for causing birth defects in tens of thousands of children around the world, with many more dying at birth. Thanks to the diligence of Dr. Kelsey and the FDA, children in the US were spared. The FDA has a tough job. It needs to ensure that drugs are safe. The decisions it makes are life-altering, in most cases for the best. But not always. FDA failures have been blamed for contributing to the opioid epidemic.
Oh, she's overdosing.
And giving false hope to Alzheimer's patients by approving a costly and unproven drug.
This is in fact a tremendous controversy in the scientific and medical world.
Unlike the time when Dr. Kelsey worked at the FDA, the federal agency is now much cozier with the industry it is supposed to regulate. Pharmaceutical companies with lots of money and questionable practices. From lobbying.
Drug companies and the insurance companies have spent $4.5 billion on lobbying and campaign contributions.
To advertising.
Ask your doctor if Myrbetriq is right for you.
And price gouging.
Everybody's doing it. In capitalism, you try to get the highest price that you can for a product.
Today, the FDA's mission is more critical than ever.
We're still not completely 100% sold on the inoculation.
Wake up, New York!
So why is the FDA making these costly mistakes, endangering public trust?
We will not comply!
This is how the FDA needs to do a better job at protecting Americans from the greed of some pharmaceutical companies.
The problem is the FDA and the pharmaceutical companies are so tight, relationship-wise, that whoever it is sign off. It goes out into the public.
Hey, Doc, you're collateral damage. That's what that is. You're collateral damage. So where's the safety mechanism? They did the same thing in the USDA, man.
Right.
When you wanted GMOs to come out, what did you do? So it's the same thing, man. And it's sad that we're here, but we're here.
Yes.
And unless and as Bernie Sanders was saying, man, you just spent $4 billion in lobbying. You don't think you're gonna get a return on your investment with $4 billion?
$4 billion.
Oh, come on, Jay. We can't compete with that.
No.
I mean, I know KBCN can, but I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? I know you.
That right there.
I know you in a second, but you know, the low folk like me be like, player, I can throw a dog. I got 5 on it, but that's all I can do. I got 5 on it. But this is not working out in my benefit, man. But it's where you are, man. I mean, when you look at Pfizer's profits last year, man, were over $100 billion.
100 billion.
100 billion.
They got more money than the government.
You know, Johnson & Johnson right behind them with 94. Come on now. You there's no way you can compete with this. And Johnson & Johnson is a privately held owned corporation.
Privately held.
Privately.
Okay.
So tell me something. What's Johnson & Johnson's motivation to do anything other than keep making money?
Keep making money.
Keep making money. All right. So then that's why you have friends in the FDA. You know.
Now,
I'm just saying.
Here's the real breakdown of the FDA of why everything is really going on.
In 1995, Purdue Pharma released a powerful pain medication called OxyContin downplaying the drug's addictive properties.
Less than 1% of patients taking opioids actually become addicted.
Since then, more than 500,000 people have died of opioid-related overdoses in the US.
Can you breathe? Can you hear me, honey? Wake up.
Thousands of lawsuits have been filed against Purdue Pharma and other opioid makers.
The global settlement announced today involves the company pleading guilty to 3 felony counts for defrauding the United States.
But the FDA has escaped much of the blame.
Had the Food and Drug Administration done its job properly, I don't believe that the United States would be in the midst of an epidemic of opioid addiction.
OxyContin's misleading label, which downplayed the risk of abuse, was approved by the FDA. Purdue Pharma used this seal of approval to aggressively market the drug as safe and effective for chronic pain.
I had a daughter who was prescribed OxyContin, and she died as a result. She had a backache, and her doctor prescribed it.
Had FDA enforced the law, Purdue never would have been allowed to promote its products for these conditions.
Since I've been on this new pain medication, I have not missed one day of work, and my boss really appreciates that.
As a result, opioid prescriptions surged. Why didn't the FDA do a better job at safeguarding American lives?
Why the FDA failed is difficult to say. Doctors across the country were hearing that patients are suffering needlessly because of an overblown fear of addiction, and the compassionate thing to do is to prescribe opioids more aggressively.
They don't wear out, they go on working, they do not have serious medical side effects.
It's possible that some of the FDA officials were influenced by this same campaign, a campaign promoted by the pharmaceutical industry. And so maybe you could give some of these officials the benefit of the doubt.
In 2002, as the dangers of OxyContin became clearer,
eventually it stopped working. It was probably the most unbelievable, excruciating, horrible time of my life.
A meeting was held at the FDA to review the labeling of opioids.
And at that meeting, FDA really could have taken the right steps, but instead we saw FDA go in the opposite direction. It began approving a steady stream of new opioids. It's really hard to give FDA the benefit of the doubt because it was very clear that we had an emerging public health crisis caused by these drugs.
The majority of advisors at this meeting had ties to pharmaceutical companies, including Purdue Pharma.
Don't show me no more.
That's it.
God, Lord.
Right there. That's enough.
That's your answer right there, player.
That's enough, bro.
That's your answer right there, man. So, like the video said, man, some of the officials, were cozy with Purdue, and so that's why you got what you got.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to know, man, that you cannot sue pharmaceutical companies.
No, you can't. And also that anyone who worked for the FDA can also go and work with a pharmaceutical company with no problem.
That's what we do.
Wow.
That's what we do.
Wow.
USDA did it, Monsanto did it. Oh, when you look at the trend, man, it's this is how we do it. I mean, this is exactly how they do it, bro.
Wow.
And if you pull some of those resumes, man, if you honestly pull those resumes and you look at executives, you look at directors, you look at the legal side, you look at those departments, I guarantee you 2 or 3 of them you're gonna find FDA. You're gonna find it.
Right.
It's just what it is. It's what it is. And this is again, if I'm spending $4 billion, and that was back then when Bernie was running. If I'm spending that kind of cash in lobbying, you don't think I'm gonna get a return on my investment?
Of course.
Come on, now. This is too.
Come on now.
That's why again, certain dynamics of that should be, made illegal as to why you have the dynamics. But this is how politicians again pad their pockets as well. This is how the money comes in. This is the flow of the money. And when you're looking at, this is why I asked in the beginning the question: why does a candidate run for president need $100 million in a quarter? You know, and again, where that money coming from, bro? That's not coming from. People can say what they want to say.
No.
Last time I was told, it's on about 16 million of us is in this country. 16 million. Okay, if that number is holding true, so that means if all of us gave $1, that's only 16 million, man.
Come on, man.
And we ain't giving no dollar air turn.
No.
That's just $1. So I mean, you guys yourself, where's this money coming from, and where's it going, and why do you need that kind of cash to run for office?
Right.
What's the point? Look at the track back in the day, man. If you look at the campaign's reign, you know, the Kennedy, that money wasn't. It was in the coffers.
Right.
It was not there. So why is it now? They are glorifying how much money they raise, man.
I know, bro.
And
they'll let you know.
They'll let you know. It's like it's the staple.
In 2 weeks, we raised $300 million. What?
That part.
Raised another $54 million. What?
And you got to ask yourself another thing, Jay, as far as these super PACs that they have now just mysteriously popped up over the years. You know, 45's businesses are not kicking out that kind of money to deal with just his legal side. So where's the money? Come on now. We know this.
Come on now. We know.
We know that man.
Why you think Elon Musk over there?
That's why that brother bought. He recognized that campaigning was a cash cow. It's an endless bucket. My business ain't doing shite.
Let me get in the bucket.
Let me get in the bucket. That's what it is. That's what it is. And the things that Elon Musk, I mean, you look at SpaceX. That thing was subsidized by NASA. Why is your government agency subsidizing him? Come on, man.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. What are we doing?
You know, I mean, if you start looking at this stuff, man, this is why these cats are the way they are. And again, when I'm looking to make sure that this cash continues to flow, I've got to put certain mechanisms in. That's why I'm telling you, 45 serves a greater evil.
Yes, he does.
That's what this is, man. It's nothing about him. He brings nothing to the table.
Nothing to the table.
Nothing to the table. Even his own colleagues, Mark Corbin said, people who have worked with this cat have said this dude is not it.
No.
And when your own colleagues say this about you, bro, people who run that same circle say this dude ain't him.
And even when your own wife goes against what you believe in,
won't even hold a man's hand now. Come on now.
His sister won't even support.
Melania. So dude. And I mean 7 bankruptcies. Every bit. You remember Trump steak when he came out with steaks?
Yeah.
2.5 years that thing was up there, and that was it. You can't find a Trump steak.
No, you can't find a Trump steak now.
I'm just saying, the Trump University. I mean, you name it, bro. Trump water. Come on, bro. Trump Bibles. Well, if I could be in heaven, boy, I bet the Lord like, what now?
What?
The man got my book now? Okay.
Got my book.
The man got my book. I mean, Lord, come on. They're not my book now. Don't mess with my book, but he got my book.
He got it.
He got my book. So I just said, man, this is where you are, man. And it's really pathetic. It's really sad. And you got to ask yourself, where do we go from here?
Wow.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Bro. Don't know,
man. Yeah, man. So pray.
Yes. And then I'm gonna throw this on you last thing for the night.
Oh Lord, how much now?
Mega Millions to raise ticket prices by 150%.
By how much now, Jay?
150%. They telling you right now. That's what they're gonna raise it to.
How much now?
And then they saying, well, it's a better way for everybody to win.
How?
By you raising the prices to 150%.
How your chances don't increase?
No.
It is said you stand a good chance of getting hit by lightning.
Yeah.
Than you do by winning the Mega Million.
What?
Well, any kind of jackpot.
Bruh.
Again, I say, where is that money going? Because it's supposed to be going to education, and that, Lord help.
Really?
That's what they say.
Education you talking about?
I don't know, but Lord help. So I don't, man. Everybody's hand and got in somewhere.
Well, you know, when it comes to us, we get crickets.
That's all it is. All it is.
Yeah, all it is crickets with us.
So man, it's come on, dude, come on, man. But they gonna pay it, Jay. That's the sad part about it.
They gonna pay it.
They gonna pay it.
They gonna play. They gonna pay it to play.
In hopes of winning and praying to win it.
Wow.
But my thing is, dude, people who to take a chance, it should be discretionary income.
Right.
It got to be something that you will not miss ever in your life.
Ever.
But when you spend the money that you need,
no,
on a chance,
no
come
sir,
on, man,
no,
baby,
sir.
come
No,
on,
sir.
No, sir. Like Yogi said, boo boo, you got to be smarter than the average bear. You got to be smarter than the average bear, boo boo.
And you know your boy Fred Sanford said, "You big dummy."
That's him. The greats are leaving, man. John left us, man.
Oh man, you know Cissy Houston.
Cissy Houston left, man.
Wow.
Man,
91,
man. That's a blessing right there.
Yeah.
But these giants are like, y'all can have this.
Y'all can have this crap.
Y'all can. You talking about John Amos? You talking about again Lou Gossip? You talking about man? You talking about all these cats?
Man.
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones.
Bro, when you run the list, it hurts your heart, man. When you run the list of who
John Amos,
all of them, man. Yeah, when you look at who walked off this planet, man, just in the few months, man, it's just like it tears your heart up. Because those were the ones, man. You don't see them like that no more, man.
What we gonna do, right?
I don't know, Jay.
Yeah.
I guess you gotta start having cheering to replace them.
I know, right?
Yeah, so get on your job tonight.
Well, no. I got my grandchildren.
No. Get on your job tonight. The Bible said from your loins. So
I take nobody to be
No. Get on your job tonight. Okay, we need
uncommon sense. What you talking about?
I'm just saying, dude. Hey, the Bible said be fruitful and multiply and replenish. Okay. So
you got a wife too. Wait a minute. Hold up.
I did my job, though. I did my job.
Okay. Do it again.
Nah, as I play. I did my job, dude. I did mine. You know what I'm saying? So
follow us at SinceYouAsk.com. That's SinceYouAsk.com. KBCNTV.com. And also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Right there. It's on the screen.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It's been a pleasing pleasure, brother, right?
My. Same on this side, my brother.
And then, of course, hey, don't forget.
Next week,
we will have the Honorable Judge Stephen N. Knights Jr. with us. And man, he's going to educate us on the legal matters of the day. Yeah. And really, just show us some legal matters about even when you get stopped by the police or even how you're supposed to come into court and, things of that nature. So you'll be in order, as they say, because we just don't know anything about the legal system in time.
And I don't want to find out.
No, I don't want to find out. But if I got to go, brother, I want to know at least have some assurance that I know what I'm doing.
But man,
yeah,
that talk to my dad had me in the
1952
what you Chevrolet. Yeah. Yeah.
I ain't even see scared straight, Doc. I already.
No, that talk right there, boy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
1972 Chevrolet. That talk right there. Yeah. That's why I ain't never.
Never.
Ever. Yeah, no. Yeah,
It's got to be a good, I mean, show enough good read.
Boy.
Yeah.
My dad was like this: if you go in, you ain't never coming out. So, because I am not coming to get you. So, I like say, what now? He said, I am not coming
to get you.
So yeah, that was my motivation, man.
Oh yeah,
we're not doing that.
Not at all.
So, yeah. So, but I do pray that these folks really start having conversation when they're cheering.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because it's real out here, brother.
Yeah, man.
And especially for us, man.
Yeah, man. It's truly for us.
Yes,
you
sir.
need to have that James Wright conversation. You get in there. I'm not coming for you. So,
Uncommon Sense conversation. Right here on the Uncommon Sense podcast. Until next week.